other than a skill set?
Well,
I'm not imposing that, God forbid, there's no skill set. I mean, she's doing a
don't
great
think
job.
so.
Yeah, just asking.
it's a good question, right? But before that, if I summarize it in a way that if anybody who gets 8 hours to cut down a tree, spend 6 hours in sharpening your axe, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be smarter these days than being a hard worker. And I no way, on the TV I say that you don't need to work hard. You need to work hard. However, you need to also work smart, right? So if you need to shine like a sun, you need to burn yourself like a sun. This is hard work, right? But you need to find ways, right? Bill Gates always say that I hire people who are, right, who are smart, right? So we need to be smarter. So now I talk about intellect, right? If I gauge intellect with the education you get only, right? So this is not only sufficient to be successful in life. You need to be able to have skill set, right? And we call it a three-dimension thing, that is attitude, knowledge, and skill set. Attitude, knowledge, and skill set, right? So there's a theory, we call it a persuasion theory, right? I'll just be very precise. So now, but I was talking before, that is, this is a three-model theory, and it's very easier for everybody to understand, right? That is communication, that leads to attitude, and that leads to behavior. So the communication that went in our mind, पुत्र नौकरी करनी है, right? You need to have a job. नौकरी मिलेगी नहीं, right? So you need to have a job, right? So this goes into our mind, the communication, and we will never proceed ourselves with respect to getting skill set. Rather, it's more education, the degrees, right? The only degrees, right? I'll feel that, of course, if I'm sitting here, or if anybody seeing me here, he may feel that, of course, he needs to be a PhD to be sitting here. However, we may need some skill sets to speak at least. That is communication. And again, and now that that communication leads to attitude, and then that leads to behavior, right? So communication is there's an don't go in that room, this is dark, right? That goes into your mind. That fear is your attitude, and behavior is getting fearful about that dark.
But I think that's the other bit of communication. So I want you, Mr. T, to kind of shed light on this as well, because communication is two-way, right? So when you go to somebody and you say whatever you want to say, it's good. You feel relaxed, you feel relieved too as well. But as soon as the other person starts talking back, that's when the problem